CareerSource, one-stop service for businesses and job applicants. Hello, I'm Carlos Valderrama of the Volusia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. This is Negocios today. Finding a job and hiring a good employee sometimes needs help from a matchmaker. In Volusia County, that employment matchmaker is CareerSource Florida. My guest of this episode is Bill O'Connor of CareerSource Flagler, Volusia. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about CareerSource. What is CareerSource?
Well, CareerSource is actually it's two parts. One of it is we do assist people in finding talent to make sure they're ready to find a job, but we also help businesses expand by acquiring the talent they may be looking for. Mm-hmm. We not only help them find the talent, then we also try to financially assist them in bringing that talent on board.
Great. So as an employer, what service do you provide, and how simple is it to register for CareerSource services?
It's very simple, Carlos. I think we have a website called Employ Florida Marketplace. Mm-hmm. And any employer can go in and sign up. It's pretty simple, so they can actually do it on their own, or they can contact their local CareerSource office and we'll help them as well. But once they register as an employer on employflorida.com, which is the name of the website, they can actually start listing jobs. They can research or search resumes if they're looking for individuals. They can actually obtain labor statistics as well.
So tell me a little bit more about the process to apply for an employer to search an applicant.
Okay, let's say you put a job on. Let's give an example. I think example's a good way. You're looking for an accountant. You're an accounting company. You're looking for an accountant. You registered Employ Florida. You would actually go in there on the side that says Manage Jobs. You would actually, it's a wizard, very simple to do. Okay. You follow the prompts, and next thing you know, within probably a couple minutes, you'll actually have the entire job description in there, benefits your company uses, what you pay. And then how people can get a hold of you. You have several options. You can have them send the email to you that they're interested. You can have them go to your company website to register, okay, or you can have them just respond to that page right there, and that means you'll go back into Employ Florida Marketplace and all the resumes will be sitting there for you to look at. So that's what you can do. The other side of that as a business is, let's say you need an accountant, you can actually go in there and search accountants. You can put Volusia Flagler counties in there, mm-hmm, and it'll tell you everybody that's an accountant that's looking for a position. You can actually preview the resumes because people post the resumes to the Employ Florida Marketplace. Okay. And so while you're sitting there at home in the evening, you can be looking at different things, and then you can send them an email saying you're interested in interviewing them.
Nice, nice. So what are the requirements? Is this for all types of business or a particular type of business?
The only requirement, well, the requirement is you have to have a Florida employee identification number. Okay. But you can be for-profit or not for profit. It really doesn't matter. So we have supply services for both. We do ask when you're posting a job, it does have to have a salary base, obviously above minimum wage.
Above minimum wage,
yes.
Okay.
If it's 100% commission, then we can't post those jobs postings on the Employ Florida Marketplace website.
Okay. So here's one of the key questions is, what is the cost for this?
That's the nice part. The cost is absolutely free. There is no cost. Really? This is a free service that's provided through the Employ Florida or through CareerSource Flagler Volusia.
Nice. So aside from looking for employees, what other services that you provide? You help recruit. You help interview, or what other things that CareerSource does?
We can do a variety of things. One of the biggest things is if you're a company, maybe a new company coming to town, or you're doing an expansion and you need to hire a few people at one time, we can actually do a hiring event. We can do that hosted at our location if you're a new company coming into town, okay, or we can be on your site. So we do career hiring events for companies on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, this time of the year right now, I think we've had at least 2 every single week of companies that are hiring. So we can help with that. The other thing we can do is we can help with a company in financing that. I think one of our most popular programs that we have is called the On-the-Job Training Program. Okay. And there are some requirements to that. When we talk about on-the-job training, the company has to be paying them at least $10 an hour, and they must be a full-time employee. And all the individuals for the on-the-job training and the customized training have to qualify as well. And when I say qualify, it's based on family size and family income. Okay. And in all reality, I would say at least 85% of the people we talk to, if not more, do qualify. So once that's done and they do qualify, we'll actually have a very short agreement that says that they'll be training this many weeks, this many hours of training, and then upon the completion of their training program, I'll get back with the individual and the company, and we'll create an invoice, and usually within a couple weeks we will pay them for, again, up to 50% of what they paid their employee during this training period.
Nice, nice. So now this training process is like a certification for some of the employees that want to get recertified or learn a new tool or expand their opportunities, or?
No, on-the-job training is for brand new people that your company is hiring.
Brand new people, okay.
We do have a program called customized training where let's say you're a company and you have a new piece of equipment. So your employees need to be retrained or need to be trained to operate this piece of equipment. We can also assist a company in that training as well. That's called customized training. Here again, there are some parameters that are set. The employees have to be making at least $12 an hour. They have to be full-time. And they have to be with the company for a year. But what we can do then is we can actually reimburse you, again, up to 50% of the training cost. It's a worksheet that one of our business service reps, such as myself, will sit down with you, go over all the paperwork with you, and we can show you how much we can assist you in that training process.
Nice. So what about for those companies that are, maybe they're going through a tough time, they need to lay off some employees? What does careers, what kind of service the career offers?
Yeah, unfortunately we do have that. We do have that service because some companies have to do that. What we can do is we can actually meet with the company's employees prior to the layoff and to get them registered in our Employee Florida Marketplace. We can set them up with some workshops. Maybe they haven't done a resume in 20 years, so maybe we can assist them with getting a resume written. We can help them with job searches and all that. And what we like to do is we like to come in before they're laid off and try to help them so that they hit the ground running, to say.
Let's suppose that myself, I want to go through a transition of maybe career change. Maybe not so much I want to find a job on that particular, position or career. I want to completely switch to a something totally different. Is something you guys assist with also?
Yeah, there's a few different programs out there that we can do. We do have scholarship programs available where an individual, if they're trying to go into a job market that there is need, obviously if it's a saturated market, we're not going to assist you in going to a job you can't succeed because you're going to have a hard time finding a job. But if you are looking into a job that there is a big demand, I can give you an example. Truck driving. Truck drivers are always in demand, over-the-road truck drivers. So we have programs where we can assist individuals with obtaining the truck driving school so that they can find employment.
Nice. So in regards of for those that been out of the job market for quite some time, what solutions are out there for them?
If they haven't been out there in a long time, is I think the biggest thing is they've got to get registered in the Employee Florida Marketplace.
That's the first.
That's the first thing they need to do. If they stop by one of our centers, we're going to actually put them through an iCareer program where they're actually going to come in. The first thing we're going to do is have one of our FIT team, our first impression team, is going to sit down with them one-on-one, find out what their background is, what they like to do in the future, and then we're going to try to build a plan to make sure they can get to achieve that goal that they've got. That may include attending workshops. We have workshops on resume writing. We have workshops on how to do a successful job search. We do a job search on dressing for success. So we have a lot of different workshops that we'll get with them and work with them as well. So that's one of the avenues that we have. We also have programs that are specifically geared for certain industries. That we have a program now on what's called the STEM program, the science, technology, English, and math. And this program is called Experience Pays. Somebody who's been unemployed for 27 weeks and they need to find employment. We do a lot of one-on-one with them, and we try to personally match them with a job that's in the STEM-related industry. So it's a very unique program. It's one that if somebody's interested in, they can always go to the Employee Florida FV for flaglervolution.com, our website, and find out more information, because that's a very unique program in that you have to be interviewed to be part of it. So we just don't, everybody just can't come into the Employee Florida or the Experience Pay STEM. So it is something that they can look at. They can go into an information session and see if they're a perfect fit, or they're a fit for that program.
I understand that you guys also have something specifically for veterans.
We do. Our sites have veterans there. We actually have two. We have a veteran that works with the veterans completely, as maybe they have some type of barrier to employment. We have a veteran service officer that works with them, trying to get them to get those barriers taken care of. We also have veteran reps that actually go out and meet with companies and say, well, can we help you? If you're a veteran-friendly company, these gentlemen or ladies are going to actually stop by and try to see where we can make a match. We do a lot of job fairs with them. We just did a program this last spring where we had the Veteran Employment Initiative, where we actually had a 6-week program, and every week we had 2 companies, local companies, come in and talk with a group. We had up to 20 veterans in our program, and the HR and CEOs of these companies came in and actually met with the veterans, told them what they were looking for, actually did job interviews with them while they were in the program, and we actually had several that were hired during the 6-week program. So we have a special place in our hearts for veterans.
Great. So in regards of a new graduate, they just finished, their university or college. Is there some sort of internship program in place, or for them to get a little more experience, or even young adults that wanted to get their foot through the doors?
Yeah, there is. There's actually 2 programs out there right now. When I talked about the Employ Florida Marketplace, when I told you companies can go in and put a job order in place when they're looking for people, they can also go in there and put in internships. That's obviously very common this time of year, and what companies are doing is, and so a person can go in and they can say, instead of searching for a job, they can search for interns, and it'll show all the local companies who have internships available. Mostly from the major companies, those are going to be paid internships, and they're geared towards our college kids. We do have a new program that just recently came out called the Career Community Portal. And this one is actually geared more towards the high school students. And
high school students,
Yeah, this is actually geared, this was actually created for Flagler and Volusia County School Boards. This is actually their program. And what we do is we get businesses to sign up in this portal. And I think that today we have actually over 100. And this program's only been out for just a couple months. But what they can do is a company can go in and register their company and say they want to be part of the portal, and then they can have options. They can make themselves available to talk to a class. They can make themselves available to have an intern, maybe between their junior and senior year come out. They can make their business available for a plant tour. So again, this is a brand new program that's just getting off the ground. Now what we do at Career Source Flagler Volusia is we vet the companies. When they say they want to join, we make sure they're a legitimate company. We actually go out and check them out, and that way we know that they do exist. On the other side, the school boards actually work with the students, and if a student goes into the portal and they register and they see that there's let's say example, there's a machining class that they're interested in, the company, they can go to their teacher and say, well, there's this manufacturing company is looking for an internship on machining, and I'm interested. So the teacher makes the initial contact with the company. So we try to keep everything's kind of watched over, but it's brand new, so we have high hopes for this program.
Perfect, and hope that since this is only offered for high school students, hope that it could expand to college students also. Yeah,
we're hoping that it will grow as we grow. The whole goal behind this is to get businesses to be proactive in creating the workforce of tomorrow. And you might as well get a young kid between their junior and senior years, maybe their junior years, to get them excited about what they can do after school. So
yeah, I wish we had that when I was growing up.
Yes, I understand that.
So in regards of, I visited you, of course, Career Source locations, and the thing is that you guys do provide assistance in bilingual for job applicants out there. So that's a great thing to have.
Yes, we do. We have our staff is we can answer any questions, and probably more than just a few different languages. It's really kind of nice. We're there for everybody. So, I am not bilingual, even though I'm actually taking Spanish classes now. But every once in a while, I'll get an applicant that's coming in to do the on-the-job training, and I have no problem finding a staff member, and we'll sit down. We have a very close family in our centers, and we're really there to help people out. So finding somebody to sit down, and maybe 3 of us sitting in there doing an application, but we'll make sure that they get we get the information and they feel comfortable with what we're telling them.
Yeah, most particularly that the market is really expanding in Central Florida, and definitely they need those communication for them to communicate and finding a job. We're noticing that in Central Florida there's a large surge of from Puerto Rico coming into our area, and they're always seeking those opportunities.
Very true. And when we were talking earlier about the on-the-job training, and let's say you're with the company and you came in and you put a job order in the system, and somebody responded to it. And you're right. I do see a lot of Hispanic come into me and talk to me, and they want the job, and so we will sit whatever it takes to get them in there, because like I said, it doesn't matter to us. Our job, our end result is to make sure somebody gets a job, so
perfect. Or
to help them find that perfect job.
Well, what are the things that you within a cover you want to talk about maybe?
A lot of the other things that we have that are available for the job seeker, if somebody was unemployed or if they're just thinking about changing, understand that when they come in, that they're going to be treated as an individual. We have computer labs at every one of our centers, so they can come in at any time. We're open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We have staff manning the career zone all the time, and they're going to be sit there. If somebody has a question, they raise their hand, somebody will be right over to them.
Okay.
The number of workshops we have, a lot of the, especially myself, when I went back out into the market a couple years ago, I didn't understand what it was to social media to try to find a job. We have classes to teach people on social media, which is very important. And like I said, I had an old chronological resume that doesn't look like anything they use nowadays. So, even if you think you've been there and you have our people are experts in the field, and they're there to help. We also have special programs for youth, so that's another thing. We don't do a lot of those with the business side of it, but CareerSource as a whole does actually have youth programs as well. So we try to start with kids as young as we can to make sure that as they grow older and they're getting their education, that they're ready to be a viable member of the workforce when they're done and ready to move on.
Awesome. Looking forward for new things coming up with CareerSource. Definitely.
There's a lot. I think there's a lot. I think we're going to see a lot of growth. We've got 3 centers. We have the center located here in Orange City, or in Orange City. We also have one located behind the mall in Daytona Beach, and one up in Palm Coast off of Airport Boulevard. So
now you have 3 locations and covering the whole area of Volusia Flagler County there.
Yes, and the one thing we made sure about all our stops is all our stops are accessible to the VoTrans system. So, and that's one of the reasons that we picked the location. So everybody should be able to get to us, and that's a goal. We have to be accessible.
Okay, so give us a little bit more information, a contact number, a website where people can go and visit and find out a little bit more what CareerSource offers.
Well, I think the best, we do have a CareerSource, our website, and it is actually called CareerSource, and then the initials F for Flagler, V for Volusia. So CareerSourceFV.com.
Okay.
If they go to that website, it'll have the addresses on the bottom for all 3 of our centers.
Okay.
It'll also have a list of all the programs that are going.
Okay.
Obviously, we are also, as they are social media, there's blogs that people can listen to or read. They have a place where they can add questions, any new programs. They can, I talked about the experience-based STEM, they can register for an information class on that.
Okay.
So it's a very interactive program. They can also go in there and do a search under Facebook for CareerSource Flagler Volusia. And we're Twitter. And Twitter, absolutely. I don't tweet myself, not yet, but I do go on Facebook, so we're accessible through all those avenues. And we're getting ready to some things, so we're going to start adding some online training classes for people who may not be able to get into our center between 8 and 4. A lot of our programs, resume writing, items like that, are going to be available online in the very near future. And so they won't be, if they work in a swing shift and they don't get off till 11, they'll be able to go home, look at a resume workshop, feel comfortable with what they're learning. So
that's exciting.
It is very exciting. We're going to see a lot of those rolling out probably this summer.
Perfect, perfect. Now I'm going to go into my little Spanish mode here.
Okay.
Para las personas, la audiencia que nos está viendo este programa, primeramente, CareerSource es una organización que ofrece muchos servicios no solamente para el individual, pero también para las empresas que están buscando una persona que que está buscando para llenar una posición. El servicio es gratis Ustedes pueden registrarse en la página web de ellos. Usted busca al candidato que le prefiere. Y yo creo que esto es un buen servicio, dependiendo los requisitos que ustedes necesitan. Pero también para el individual, también se puede registrarse y también se pueden y ponga su resumen en el sistema para que también lo puedan contratar. Ellos ofrecen varios programas especialmente que le ayuda al empresario. Si usted está buscando a desarrollar los empleados que ya tienen o quiere que tenga otra clase de certificación o mejorar la posición, si califican, Career Source le puede ayudar en la parte de sueldo a esa empresa para ayudarle para que mejore su negocio. Entonces, también ofrecen varios programas para los estudiantes que quieren ingresar a las empresas como una experiencia, y también las personas que no han estado por un tiempo, no tenido un trabajo, y ellos les ayudan a mejorar su resumen, a mejorar la entrevista para que usted pueda encontrar su trabajo. Son información que ellos tienen, y si quieren un poquito más de información sobre ellos, pueden visitar a Career Source fvchica.com para que tengamos un poquito más de detalles de ese servicio. Thank you, Bill, for coming. I appreciate for being here, and we look forward for Career Source upcoming services.
Oh, thank you for having me. Great time.
Thank you. I'm Carlos Valderrama, and you've been watching Negocios Today. We'll see you next month.